Okay, seems like we don't have any new candidates. We just have 4 of you. So maybe we should just start waiting for the others to join. You know, they may take, God knows when they're going to be joining because it is 10 minutes past the hour. What do you say? Guys, do you hear me? I know Trishma will not come, but then there are others, right? Yeah. Okay, so I am also looking at your blog, guys. Why do I not see your assignments? Let's see, you will have more assignments today. So you will have to work harder, okay? All right. The others, I do want you to do your assignments. Because we have, today is a major class. And then tomorrow is a major class. You will have assignments both days. And all assignments are due the following Saturday. So I want you to work harder, guys. Is that clear? All right. So there's no point me checking the one homework, the one assignment that is already there. We'll just do it, and then all of you have submitted yours. So that being said, we will take a look first, feasibility study. We will, as part of the feasibility study, we will also do our gap analysis as well as our cost-benefit analysis, okay? So this template that we have shared with you is a combination of these 3 documents. Now, the rules that apply to any document applies to this one as well. Do you remember the title page and how you're supposed to put down the revision history? The only thing different in this document is that we have the reviewers and approvers and the sign-off page or the section up front. Now, that is by design. It can be at the very end. It can be at the very beginning. Why? Because there are some companies that prefer to see all the signatures at the very first. They don't want you to go through, flip through 10,000. Not fine. They want to be able to just on the very first page, be able to view, okay, who has signed, what is the status, which version is it? It is, right? So they have the sign-off section at the very beginning. But typically, or most companies will have this section at the very end. Why? It's pretty much like the same theory that we apply towards when we download a software. Do you see the license? Yes or no, guys? Are you asked to agree to the terms of the software or whatever? Okay, and have you noticed that sometimes you can simply click yes and agree, and sometimes you've got to scroll all the way down, and only then does the agree button light up. Otherwise, it's grayed out. That's the same difference here. So sometimes the sign-offs are at the very front. You can simply sign, right? And sometimes it's at the very bottom. So you have to flip through all the pages until you get to the bottom or to the end, and then sign off the document. Does that make sense? So it can be either way. It does not matter. Now, when the reason why most companies have it at the very end is because the logic goes that while you're flipping through, right, chances are when you're flipping through that you've read it. We force you to flip through or scroll down. Some things will jump out of the text, right, and potentially cause you to take a second look. On the other hand, if it is at the very front, yes, we know who else has signed. If they have approved, we can approve too, but doesn't mean that we have read the document. So that's one of the reasons why most companies will keep their sign-off page at the very end. Now, how do you figure out who's supposed to be signing off? Remember, we must do stakeholder analysis. Figure out who are the stakeholders who are involved in this project. Okay? Are we asking them to review or are we asking them to approve? Now, who can approve a requirement? Who can validate your requirement? Your stakeholders, correct? And who can review your document but cannot approve it? Who do you think? The sponsor is a stakeholder in health. Srinivas, same story. Sponsor is a stakeholder. Who can review but cannot approve or reject? That's right, project manager. Who else? Do you think the testing team, even though they're stakeholders, do you think they are in a position to approve or reject your requirements? Do we write the requirements based on their needs, or do we write it based on our business customers' needs? When you say audio issues, what kind of audio issues are you having? Give me a minute. Let me switch. Is this better now? Okay. Well, just so you know, guys, it is really cloudy and about to rain, and not just rain, but pour in Houston. All right? So, although it should not affect our wireless transmission, but if in the off chance, if we get disconnected, right? Please don't worry. If I don't come back to the meeting in 5 minutes, then please log out and we'll try again tomorrow. Because it's really dark outside. It doesn't seem as if it's morning, but it looks like it's almost like dusk, you know? Yeah, thanks. No, it's really dark. So maybe that's one of the reasons why you couldn't hear me properly, but hopefully this will work. But I just wanted to call out that if I, for any reason, if I get disconnected, don't panic. If I don't come back to the meeting in 5 minutes, just drop out, okay? All right, so back to this one here. So when we write our requirements, guys, we always write business requirements. We always build a solution for the business, right? So even though IT is a stakeholder, IT does not, IT does not say what a business can or cannot have. The business must say what they need, and IT must provide it. All right? So when we have a project, who else can be a reviewer? Let's just assume that we're not making any changes to our financial systems, but we do want them to review our document, right? Yes or no? Just to keep them informed, right? We're telling them we're not making any changes to you and how you do with your business. We will just be adding more stuff, right? We'll have more sales, right? So when you see more sales, it will show up in your financial ledgers or whatever it is, correct? So we want you to review it. Same goes, compliance. We talked about compliance teams, right? We have compliance officers everywhere. So if there's a project there is a compliance piece portion of it, or we want to make sure that the compliance officer is okay with how we're doing things, right? We may want him to review it. He may not have to approve it, but definitely review it. Are you clear? All right. So the same stuff, if you notice, it is in italics, all the help text, table of content. Now we come to the feasibility study. So we will start with, I know Srinivas was sick last time, right? Srinivas, you took one question last week, but not much, did you? Are you better now? No? Something very simple, Srinivas. Try. I told you this before also. Lipsy, next is going to be your turn. Very simple. So Srinivas, I want you to read the executive summary, right? The help text here in the feasibility study. And then once you've read this out loud, we will go to our assignments, our case study. And we will start with the most basic, simple one, which is case study 1. Okay, Srinivas? Are you there? Srinivas? You may be talking to the mute button. But if you feel that you're not prepared at all, please type in the chat box. Okay. Guys, do you hear me? Okay. So maybe Srinivas has stepped out. So Lipsy, falls on you. Please read out loud section 1, executive summary. What is this section asking you to do? And then we will go, let me know, and we will go through the case study or the assignment, and you can tell me how to fill this section out. Okay?
Pooja, can you hear me?
Yes, now I can.
Okay. Executive summary. Describe the business problem this project is initiated to solve. Briefly describe the project, including the external behavior of the application or subsystem identified, business process, changes, and the functions and non-functional requirements. Specify the purpose and the audience of this document. The audience is usually the stakeholders who sign up the document. The section should not be longer than half a page.
Very nice, Srinivas. So Srinivas, when they're saying identify the functional and non-functional requirements, and they're also saying it should not be more than half a page, what does it mean?
Basically, to list the requirement.
At a very high level. Okay, half a page is really nothing, right?
Yeah.
Do you think you can list all the requirements?
No, just the bullet points, or we have to put the bullet points, maybe.
Exactly. Just at a very high level, what is it the business wants to
maybe we have to define the scope and vision of the project.
Yes, you can copy paste or read or same thing that you've already written in the vision and scope document. You can reiterate that here. Okay?
Yeah.
All right. So very good. So I know you've understood this section. Now let's go to our case study 1. Now read through this, and then we'll go back to our document, and you tell me how to fill that out.
Read the whole document?
No, just whatever the sections in blue and just the overview. And you can read out loud, or if you want to read it in your head, that's fine. Let me know when you're done.
Okay. The requirement of the stakeholder is, I am an antique art dealer based in Ohio. I would like to spread my customer base across the US of A, maybe across the continent. 2, I need help in marketing and selling my products online. Maybe given my customers a feature that allows them to track their orders online, I'm looking for a complete solution from you. In the sense that I would be happy if you could work on the other added solutions like hosting, shipping, services, etc. too. Phase 1. I would be to hit the ground running. This would essentially be a catalog.
Srinivas, overview.
Oh, okay. You said just blue one. I thought that heightened overview.
Yeah.
Going online is an excellent way of scaling up, spreading your customers' base statistics. Show that the number of people buying online is steadily increasing, and so is the volume of transactions happening online. Success of websites like www.arts.com shows that it is possible to sell art online, which is considered as need to touch, feel, and see before buying. The internet can't replicate the sensory experience, but it brings a lot of other benefits like easing of shopping, more choice, etc. Going online is more than scanning some pictures and puffing up an online catalog. There are various factors that go into making a successful venture online. It is recommended that in the long term, you think of moving most of your operations online. A phased approach will let you go to the fundamentals, correct and scale easily. Solutions proposed.
Okay, I don't want you to read that just yet. That is my solution that I give you. Okay, so now give me an executive summary from what you have read so far.
The stakeholder or the business owner wants to expand its business through internet online services with increased sales and revenue with the reasonable cost of operations.
Srinivas, this is an official document. It has to be half a paragraph, right?
Right.
So can you give me, this is a summary. Now, why do we have a summary? Because all the stakeholders, business stakeholders, the CIO, CEO, do you think this is the only project that they are reviewing?
No.
No. So
No.
how would they, when they pick up your document, how would they know what you're talking about? Which project is it? And why are we...
I have to give number one, introduction.
Absolutely.
Number two, about the project, what is current, and then what is expected. And then fourthly, any solutions that follows. Just not giving the solution, but that will recommendation will follow.
That's right. So
Just
it's already listed
closing.
That's right. In your executive summary, right? What
Right.
they want to mention. So I want you to start reading it, and then per line, as you read through it, I want you to give me a proper answer.
Describe the business problem this project is initiated to solve. Briefly describe the project, including the external behavior of the application or subsystem identified, business process, changes, and the functional and non-functional requirement. Specify the purpose and the audience of this document. The audience is usually the stakeholders who sign the document. The section should not be longer than half a page. We have to give a little bit.
Start talking. Don't tell me what, we know what you have to give, right? Now just start as if you were, if you had to type up this document, what would you write? Or maybe you can get some help. Can you help Srinivas out?
Yes, I guess I can try. You're looking for the summary?
Yes, please.
Okay. We're looking at a company that is pretty much doing very well. It's a startup company, which is www.arts.com. And they're in a process where they would like to transition from just being a startup company into more advanced. And they are requiring more innovative ideology and technology. So that way, the audience who are using their website can be assisted in their need of shopping and understanding what the company is about. In general, they're looking for a website that can give customers an overall picture of what they're about, what they do, how they proceed with how they market their company, and also to assist them in making adequate selections, because they are not able to see these items hands-on, and so they need something that will give them an actual visual of what it is, so that way they can make an adequate decision. So what is being proposed is a better website that's capable of marketing, www.arts.com, one that uses current technology and also is able to show the merchandise in an accurate way.
Not bad, Lipsy. The only thing you got wrong is arts.com is an existing website. They are referring to that if arts.com can be successful, then so can I. So can we.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay. Okay.
So, and the second thing is they're not trying to enhance the website, they're trying to build it. So this company, if you look at your case study 1, they don't have a website yet. And they're trying to build one. Okay, but otherwise, that was very nice.
Thank you.
Srinivas, did that help you out?
Yes, yes.
Okay. Nehal, can you give me a complete answer for section 1?
Yeah, I will try.
Okay.
Currently the business is operating in a physical store selling the different antique art products. The business wants to expand its customer base and therefore is thinking of going online by creating a website. This will solve the problem of increasing the customer base by providing the customers a visual experience of the business, which will have their catalog on the website for the customers to pick and to see the pictorial image of the product and choose the product and accordingly buy them. The website will help the customers to identify the different products based upon the categories that we will specify, and they will have the ease and convenience of by making the buying decision from their homes rather than visiting the stores. And I think I can only come up with this much.
Okay. If I were to, Shadab, can you give me a complete answer? Nehal, you were good. Shadab, okay, would you like to try?
Yeah, I can try.
Okay, perfect.
Okay, there is a company in Ohio, and the company wants to expand its marketing by going online. online. They want so the functional requirement of that would be the website. What the exact output the website should deliver, and the business rules that the website should be on, and the non-functional requirements would be what exactly the website should look like, where the functions are needed to be, the colors that is used in the website. Yeah, I'm focusing more on the functional and the non-functional requirements. So the website needs to be very feasible for the customers to use, and it also needs to track the shipping. It also needs to have a pictorial views of the products and the price lists to which customers can look at it and decide and maybe create an account to which they can order the products. Yeah, that's it for me.
Can I try again, Vijay?
Sure, Srinivas, go ahead.
Arts is a steadily growing and important business in the country, and we have pretty good business locally, and we have the ambition to expand the business into the US, all over US. And there are two options into that. One is franchising or opening stores all over the country, which takes long time and expensive. And the other alternative is to come up with a good website and a steady marketing strategy to get the business growing and shipping all over the country and increasing the revenues and doing a great business and great exposure in the country.
Very nice. Now, can you add a little more? This was perfect what you've given me so far. Add a little more as to what are we, what will this website do?
This website will provide our audio and video catalog and a living experience, so they walk through and make the experience, and customers come back, give the opportunity to the customers come back and create a large customer base. And this is the way a lot of companies are doing business and growing up, and this is the perfect time to expand in such a fashion.
Okay, everything but the last statement was fine. Okay, very, very nice. Now, what I would have expected is that this website will offer products to the customers, will also provide shipping to global customers, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's
Yeah.
the kind of stuff that I want to hear. Those are the functional and non-functional requirements. It will be secure. Why? Because we're talking about selling globally. We will
Right.
be able to customer base, right?
Yeah.
Yes or no? Okay.
That's,
Everyone clear?
yeah.
Is everyone clear? Yes, Shadab, did you have a question?
Yes, Pooja. So how do we define the functional and non-functional requirements in this case?
Okay. The functional requirements are the functions, the functionality of the website. Now, if you are selling globally or if you are selling something, right, do you want that website to be secure? If you're going to buy from some website online, do you only go to secure sites or do you go to anywhere?
Just secure sites.
Is that a functional requirement or is it a non-functional requirement? Is it a user requirement?
I think that is a functional requirement.
Okay, well, it does fall in the area because it is not necessarily a functionality that the developer has to build. For it to be secure, you must have a secure, you must work with the payment gateway. Have you heard of the payment gateway?
No.
Okay, anything that will accept, any website that accepts more than one kind of, a card, right? Payment, Amex or Discover. Do you think how is it that we can put all this information in and still the system can work the same way? Why? Are we not supposed to be talking to the bank individually? You know what happens, Shadab, is you leave the actual website, you are redirected, or the transaction is redirected to a secure site. and that is where you enter your credit card information. Are you clear?
Okay. Yes. Yes, please.
So that is, you have to have a license for that. You must have talked and gotten the you know, you must have signed up for that secure gateway. Otherwise, you will not be able to provide that. Now, you can still take payments, but it won't be secure. All right? So take the payment, what you said is a functional requirement, right? Being able to pay online. However, the secure piece is a non-functional requirement. You need to have a license agreement. Have you come across certain banks or stores where they say we don't accept Visa, we don't accept Discover? Why is that? Because they don't have an agreement with Discover or Visa, so they can't accept that card. Have you come across those companies or stores or places, Shada?
Yeah, maybe few.
Does it make sense now?
Yeah, yes. So the functional and non-functional requirement in this case is uh, 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 this secure payment method.
Well, there can be more. I'm just giving you one example.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay?
Okay. Okay. Got it.
You remember what would the examples that I provided you for the functional and non-functional requirements, Shada? Give me some of the examples that are on my slides. Functional and non-functional requirements. Give me the definition. What is a functional requirement? What is a non-functional requirement?
Functional requirement is what the software exactly needs to deliver, and the exact output that is required from the software and the business case that it needs to follow. And a non-functional requirement is something you can see and touch, like the color, the hardware stuff. That's a non-functional requirement.
Okay, I thought there was others too, non-functional. So within the non-functional, right? Can you give me what kind of requirements make up the non-functional requirement?
Yeah, for example, if you have an iPhone, right? So you can touch the iPhone, you can scroll, you can touch the screen.
No, that's how that. Remember, we said non-functional requirements, right? What kind? Okay. Let me ask you a different question. Have you heard of technical requirements?
No, I've not heard that.
How about quality of service requirements?
Yeah, quality of service. I mean, I've heard of that, but yeah, I've heard of that.
Okay. How about user requirements?
Yes, please, I've heard that.
Okay. So are you sure you haven't heard about technical requirements?
I need to go through my notes. Maybe it's there somewhere.
Okay. So what you need to do is go back, all right? There are slides with examples of functional, non-functional, and what we said is non-functional is a basic group, right? Process requirements, those are non-functional, all right? So
Okay.
you can have those requirements. Similarly, you can sometimes, some companies would like to group all your non-functional. When they say they put together a basic bucket, either it's functional or non-functional. Then in that case, they are also called as quality of service requirements, which is a combination of non-functional, technical, user, All of those implementation requirements. Okay?
Okay.
So when we say non-functional requirements, by that definition, you can give me technical requirements, you can give me user requirements or implementation requirements. All right, Shada?
Okay. All right, Pooja. Thanks.
Yes, go through the slides one more time.
Okay.
Right. So back to our feasibility study. Look at section 2. What does section 2 ask for? It is saying, talk about, right? Do the assessment, current state assessment, the as is. Did we talk about the as is? Yes. Right? So now you have to do the as is. What is the strategy? Look very clearly, it says, review the business vision, strategy, goals, and measures. What it means is, you have done, you've put together, you understood the vision, right? Now for those people who have, for whom this is the first document that they're reading on the subject, they would like to know what is the vision. So you've got to write down your vision, your strategy. How will you put this vision into place? What are you going to do? So strategy can be a variety of different things. Strategy can be your approach, the SDLC approach to getting this solution built. Strategy can also be how are we going to achieve this goal, this vision, okay? Then you list your goals and measures. Goals and how measure really means how are you going to evaluate whether you have met those goals. So what does that mean? Is that your project success criteria? How will you evaluate whether you have met your goals? Do you think for every case study that we have here that you can write down the strategy? Yes, no, maybe. Next, they're asking you to fill out business area, describe the mission of each line of business. Now for case study 1, there is only one line of business, right? Yes or no? Now what if there are multiple, right, multiple lines, meaning to say you're building the contract management system. So that contract management system is going to be used, remember all of us fill out contracts, right? AT&T contract, an electricity bill contract, yes or no? Phone contract. So that contract is, those contracts reside in a repository or there is a management tool for it, right? It's called contract management tool or system. So all of these contracts, which are the different departments that are going to be using this tool? Well, do you think the sales team will be using it? Yes. Do you think the legal department or the credit rating department, whoever does your credit check, they will be using it? Yes. Do you think the billing department, somebody has to create an account for you, right? If your contract, if you're approved, your contract is approved. Do you think somebody will need to see your contract to set up or in the billing department so that they can set up an account for you? So there are different lines of business. Now, when we are building a software that can be used or may be used by different groups of people, do you think that each of these will have their own mission, what they want this system to achieve for them? Or do you think it's going to be the same? It can't be the same, right? Every department has its own goals. Correct? Sales department, their goal is to make sure that they have contracts, right? The contracts are properly filled out. The credit department's goal is to make sure that they can access these these contracts, and then their job is to check your credit history, right? Approve or reject your contract, etc. Right? So if their goals, if their functions are different, then their goals and measures are also different. Yes or no? So if you are building a software that is going to be used cross-functionally, do you think you should explain, right? You have to break down the vision of that project into smaller pieces as applies per stakeholder? Yes. Okay? So, guys, just because it is there in the help text doesn't mean that all of it applies. You must fill out sections that apply. Okay? So, for case study 1, business area does not apply. Location. Now, website is a website, right? We're saying that anybody and everybody across the globe can buy it, can go to the website. Now, imagine if I built a software, contact management system. This is not supposed to be a website, correct? However, if I have salespeople in New York, or if I have salespeople working from home, do I need to take into consideration how are these people going to log into the contact management system to be able to do what they're supposed to be doing? Yes. Okay? So again, if you, depending on what is the application or software you're building, you must also take into consideration location. Are you all clear? Now, for our case study 1, if I start selling globally, locations does come into picture. Why? Because if I sell an antique in France, right, then I have to present the dollar amount or the cost of that antique, price of that antique in the French currency. Yes or no? In francs. I should be able to accept that currency in francs, the equivalent, correct? I should, in that sense, I should also have partnered with the French banks. Do you think everyone will have Visa and MasterCard? No. Right? So do you think location does come into picture if I start selling globally? Yes. Next, data and information. What are the major types of business information required? And where are they going to be stored? So for a website, what's the biggest thing that I need to have? No, guys, data. Domain is the smallest portion of it. I need to have a catalog. Can I sell without a catalog? Where am I going to store my catalog? Have you noticed so many different things on a catalog? The different colors, the size, the dimension, the weight, the care instructions. Where is it coming from? How is it made? What is it made up of? Where was it made? Some description. Yes or no? Price. Photograph. Have you seen all that information? So we're talking data. So what kind of business information is required? Product catalog. Where is this product information going to reside? It must reside in a repository somewhere, right? In a database somewhere? Do you think you should write that info? You should identify that? Same goes. All the customer information, financial data, right? When a transaction data. Where are we going to store that? Do you think we need to store that? Where are we going to store it? Do you think we need to identify? That's right. So do you think we need to identify that? This is what it is asking for. All right? Next, infrastructure. List each of the current business technologies impacted by this project. Is there any business technology that's being impacted by this project, by going online? No, right? We are not using any technology. We're selling from physical stores. Is there a business process, current business process? Remember, this is the as-is, right? Is there current business process? If yes, then describe it in the next one. Could you do that? What is the current business process? Customer goes to the store, browses through the items, right? If he likes an item, then an evaluation is done. Correct? Remember, you're buying an antique. Will you just take someone's word that this is 15th century Ming vase or Ming vase or whatever and pay $10,000 for it? No. Once the item has been authenticated, then what? Then customer pays for it. Once he pays for it, then customer arranges for shipment. That is the current business process. Is it or is it not? Now we come to the last bullet, competitive arena. So why do we think, based on the information above, that we will still be able, that there is an opportunity, okay, that we will be able to make money or solve our problem? So what are they asking you to do? They're asking you to analyze, do your market analysis, look at competition. What are the other products and services available? Check the emerging markets and technology, and check if this project is being done because of some regulatory or legislative changes. What does it mean? Who can tell me? What kind of analysis is this in general? Pestle, very nice, Neha. Okay? Now, if you look back, there is no hard and fast rule, guys, that you must answer this section, you must write this section in the exact way that it is listed. You must weave your own paragraph. You must write your own, in your own words. So whether you do the pestle analysis first or you define the business problem first, the as-is process first, it's up to you. So long as you consider or analyze all of these different bullets. Is that clear? No, you don't have to have bullets. Remember, the bullets are more for you to think about all of these different pieces. Okay? Next, we come to section 3. Section 3 is your feasibility study requirements. So we must do a feasibility study, right? When I say, is this feasible? I must have a yardstick, correct? If I say, is it good? Well, good against what? What am I comparing it to? Yes or no, guys? So feasibility study, if I say, is it feasible? Well, depends on your budget and timeline, correct? Can I buy a BMW? Sure, if you have that kind of money. So feasible, is it feasible to buy a BMW? Sure, if you have that kind of money. Now, if I said, I have $100,000, can I buy a BMW? Then what is the feasibility? Is it yes or no? BMW costs $60,000, $70,000. Yes. Okay? So feasibility study requirements. If we must decide whether the options are feasible, we must first understand what is the requirement, what are the parameters. So for feasibility study, we must have a high level understanding of how much are we willing to spend, how long do we have to build the solution, right? And what are the options that we will consider. If I don't want to consider outsourcing the project, then any option that has outsourcing in it or asks for outsourcing, is it feasible? No. Okay? So I will write down what are my goals and objectives, my project success criteria. All right? Now, when I do that, I am also talking about quality, right? So what is the quality that I'm expecting? If I am going to, right, if I'm going to evaluate my options of the feasibility of the option based on, well, whether this is a reputed company or not, then I must list that as well. Okay? So let's imagine I have a TCS, right? And then I have a startup company no one's ever heard of. TCS will, my budget is $500,000. TCS is going to charge us $450,000 for the project, right? And yes, they can do it in the timeline that we specified. And the startup can do it in $100,000 in the same specified timeline. Are you always going to choose the cheapest option? No. So in this instance, maybe one of my requirements, right, of feasibility criteria is the reputation of the company, their CMM level. Yes or no? Now, if they have a high CMM level, then we know for a fact, even if it is a startup, that it is reputed. If they can prove to me, if they can show me their CMM certification, correct? So anything that you are going to consider as part of your your assessment, you must list in your feasibility study requirements. Is that clear? Now, many companies, they don't have a yes or no, right? We typically have a survey. Have you seen the surveys? Is this desirable, least desirable, highly desirable? Strongly agree, strongly disagree, neutral. Have you seen those signs? Or on a scale of 1 through 5, would you give them a 3 or a 5? Have you noticed that? So let's just assume that one of my criteria is going to be reviews, right? If I am going to have someone build this website for me, whether I ask TCS to build it for me or Wipro to build it for me, I want to find out which one is the better one. And yes, I will check CMM level, but what if none of them are certified, CMM certified? Then what? I will depend on user feedback, customer reviews, right? We will review 5 we will do 5 reference checks. And the scale is going to be 1 through 5, 5 being highly satisfied, 1 being very low satisfied. Is everyone clear? Because when I do that, it also tells me what is the feasibility, right? That's one of the parameters that I am holding them accountable for, correct? All right. Does this make sense? Do you understand? Section 3. Now we come to the actual where we are going to do the feasibility. So, feasibility, right? First and foremost, we must understand what are the options that we have. One of the options can be buy a pre-built software, right? Or outsource it. Now, when I say outsource it, it could be outsource it to A or outsource it to B. Another option can be a little bit of both, right? I can build some of it, I can buy some of it, and I can outsource some of it. Yes or no? Have you also come across certain companies that sell through Amazon? They don't have their own website. They do a hosted website. They sell through Amazon. They sell through eBay. Yes, no, maybe. Now, all of these options, right? First, you've got to identify what are the options. Then, you must assess those options. So, assess. How do you assess? How much are they going to cost? How long will they build? Whether we will get our return on investment, right? If we go with this option. Are you clear? You know this part, right? We do that on a normal day-to-day basis for anything that we buy, don't we? Guys, yes, no, maybe. So what are you going to do? Well, for those of you who have downloaded the document that I am referring to, you do not see this table. Okay, because this is the table that I have included on mine. Why? Because I'm a very tabular person. I really like to do it in Excel spreadsheets, right? In tables, because it's easier and simpler to understand. However, in your template, it is a narrative section. You must describe the option. You must do the assessment, like I said, right? How much is it going to cost, and how much will we make by the end of the year, etc. Can someone give Lipsy a link to the document, Google Docs? Thank you, Shadab. So you can do it in the narrative form, or you can include the tables like I do. You can insert it. You know how to insert tables? Right here. Yes, no, maybe. Now, how do I get this information? Right? Let's talk about that. When we have a project, right? Internally, once we understood our business needs, did we say that we talked to our IT manager? Yes or no? Guys, yes, no, maybe? Yes. Once we talk to our IT managers, right, we will understand how big or small is this process. Can we build it in-house? What is the approach? Do we need to hire somebody else to do it? Should we outsource it? Should we buy this online, right? When we buy it, buy this product, they will tell you what is the route to go. Now, if we want to give it, outsource it, then you must, or we typically go through an RFP process. RFP stands for Request for Proposal. What we will do is, there are boards where you can put up projects and everyone can view it. They can apply or submit a tender. Heard of that, guys? Yes. Okay. So we will draft what is it that we want to build, right? Our solution is we are looking to build a website. We are looking to build a computer, information systems, right? Whatever it is that will hold such and such data, we will just write a high-level description of what is it that we want to build and our time frame that we want this ready by in the next 6 months. And we will post it, okay? We will also specify that we are in the process of requesting for proposals. We will accept these proposals by the end of this month or 15th of next month or whatever it is. We're accepting proposals. These, there are brokers for it as well, okay? I think there's a text somewhere. Right, there are, we have job boards, we also have such boards, okay? It's not on your company website. Then again, they're also brokers or specific companies. All right? Now, request for proposal can also be by invitation only. So I may reach out to 5 or 10 different companies and say, we want you to submit a proposal. So it works either way. You can just post it in general and anyone and everyone can apply, submit a tender, and then you can filter through. Or you can do it by invitation and only ask certain companies to submit a proposal. Now, when they submit a proposal, they are proposing a solution that we can build it. We will use this technology. We will have so many people. We will do such and such. We will provide this documentation. Okay? So the proposal typically does not have a quote, or it may have a very high level quote. All right? So if I like their proposal, the technology that they are planning to use and the advantage that it will bring, then I will, right? Of course, if I received 10 proposals, I may filter down to the top 5 or top 3, correct? And then I may ask these 3 contenders or top 5 contenders to submit a quote. So it is a request for a quote, RFQ. Now we're down to the actual negotiations. Okay? Now why is that? Remember, in our proposal, we've already said we want this built in 6 months. Anything and everything is possible given time and money. All right? With time, man reached moon. With time, man reached Mars. With time, do you think man will also start living on Mars? Possibly, right? We already have a hotel being built on the moon. Yes or no? Guys, can you hear me? So given time and money, anything is possible. right? Now, time and money. Now, we're not talking 30 years and 60 years. So when these proposals are put together, right, if you say we want it built in 3 months, sure, this company is going to hire 50 contractors or 50 people to build it for you. You say you want it in 6 months, maybe they only need 25 people, right? So when we have a quote, now we're talking about actual numbers, okay? So you give us a quote, break down your number, right? You gave us $450,000, break it down. So when they give us a quote, they will apply the discounts, they will break down their costs and say, all right, we will, if you give us a requirement, right, we will analyze your requirements and analysis will take us 3 months. And it will cost you $50,000, right? Then we go into design, which will be 4 months or 3 months, and it's going to cost you $100,000, right? So the breakdown of that $450,000. Are you clear? They will also put down the additional costs, right? Renewal fees, licensing fees, support. Do you think they already included that in the proposal? When you see the ads in the newspaper, $199, does it include shipping and tax and whatnot? All the hidden costs, do you think it is included? No, right? So when it comes to the request for a quote, now they must say what is the true cost going to be, what will be the breakdown of the cost, all right? Are you clear? If they're going to give us any discount. Now, once we have that information, we will then make a selection, right? Which one of these 3, which one of these 5 meet our feasibility study criteria? Are you clear? So we will check their cost, we will check their, references, we will check their quality, everything, whatever it is that we want to check. Okay? So we will evaluate each of those options. Now, one of the best ways to do an evaluation is the cost-benefit analysis. What it is listed here, what is 4.1, is the same thing. Only difference is that here your cost-benefit analysis is in a narrative form. And on my document, that cost-benefit analysis is in a tabular format. Are you clear? Yes or no? So if you look at my tabular format, Nehal, it depends on you. I personally think that when it comes to financials and numbers, that you should always try to put it in a tabular format or an Excel spreadsheet. Okay? Just because it is easier to add the numbers, it is easier to understand what the figures are, it is easier to do the analysis. So, in this format, we've listed benefits and then cost, right? And then and the cost, of course, is broken down, right? And then we are subtracting our benefits, our cost from our benefit. I'll tell you why. Return on investment is always profit minus cost, right? Sales price minus cost price is profit, correct? So return on investment is the same thing. Benefit minus cost is your return on investment. Are you clear? Okay. Year 0, what does year 0 mean? The year that you are going to implement, go live with your project. Again, financial terms for those of you who have bought a house, you will know, or have gone to the college, right? You know you don't start paying on your tuition, your student loan, until you graduate. Yes or no? So even if you signed up for a 2-year college course or a 4-year college course, your tuitions become due, right? You start paying off on your loan from the day you graduate. Is everyone aware of that? Until then, your total cost just gets accumulated. Now they're coming up with more and more programs. I'm sure what you're saying is true, but that old model still applies, correct? You can start paying off sooner. They're giving that kind of options now, right? All right. So year 0 really means the year of the implementation, the year you graduate, the year you roll out your software, right? Until then, so even if you took 4 years to build this software, you will put the cost, the accumulated cost, in year 0. Are you clear, all of you? Now the cost itself is going to be broken down, remember. Why? Because sometimes we change our vendors. You've heard of it? we asked TCS to build it or Wipro to build it, and we didn't like their work, and then we changed teams in the middle of the project. Now, if that were the case, how would we determine how much money do we owe the other company? We need to be able to do that, right? It is always based on deliverables. So even when you're building a house, right, there are certain installments that you must make so that they can buy the things that you need, right? The wood, the doors, fixtures, whatever. Yes or no? Correct? So it is always broken down. The cost is always broken down. Now, if you are not satisfied with their analysis, you can choose to end it at the analysis phase. Say, you know what? We're not satisfied. You paid them the sum, right? Now, even within that, there are, guys, give me a minute. Let me get a drink of water. So even within that, if their analysis phase, they said that we will build it within 3 months. We will, analyze your requirements, and we will deliver these 3 documents, right? And they haven't delivered it. Then you can say, we haven't received any documents, so the analysis phase is not complete. We will not pay for analysis either. On the other hand, if they've delivered the documents, however, it's not of good quality, you can get out of the contract and say, you know what, the quality of the documents were not good. We are going to end our contract. We'll pay you 60% or 50% of the total cost because what you built for us is not adequate. Okay, but that's legal. How they manage, what they settle on, is a legal aspect. But we do have the cost broken down by different phases of the project simply because we don't pay in lump sum. Okay? Wipro, TCS, all the consulting companies, they want to get paid. They don't want to wait 3 years if it's a 3-year project to get paid at the very end. Are you all clear? So they get paid as they finish a particular phase. Are you all okay? So when we outsource it, remember, even in those instances, our internal resources are still involved. Why? I am involved as a business analyst. I have to gather the requirements, right? I have to sit down with TCS to explain my requirements. They may have more questions, and I may have to facilitate a meeting with the stakeholders, right? So the stakeholders may also be involved. When they give us a design document, my IT team, my IT manager must review that document to make sure that their design meets the design standards of my company. Yes, no, maybe. Right? Even if I'm outsourcing the project, are they doing everything? No. Some systems they do not have access to, right? Only a full-time employee will be able to have access to those systems. So if we want to make or deploy a code, the offshore development team will hand over the code to the internal developer, right? And our developer, our in-house developer, will then apply the code, security measures, because what if they went into our master code, right? And they messed it up. They copied our files. Then what? Are you all clear so far? Same goes, even though they have built it for us, do you think my team, the company's testing team should also test to make sure that this code is working? All right? So even when we outsource it or buy a pre-built software, there's always some involvement of the parent company. So the cost that you see here, right, you can even break it down further. You can have analysis, TCS, analysis in-house. Design, how much is TCS going to charge you for design? And design internal, in-house. Okay? So you will put down the cost of every component. Are you clear so far? Like with any other software, right? You will have to sometimes get a license. So we talk about the payment gateway. Yes or no? You must have a license for that. Registered domain, right? There may be a fee. There are some places you must get a renewal. Yes, no, maybe. Okay, so those are ongoing fees. So that is maintenance and support. Correct? If I have built it up, if I have asked IBM to build a software for me or Oracle to build a software for me, I must have some support from them, maintenance, right? If I run into issues, I should be able to call Oracle and say, hey, you are the one who built this for me, fix it. Or how do I fix it? Yes or no? So do you think they will charge us for personnel? Absolutely, that's not part of the application, right? They built it. Now we must pay for support as well, okay? Personnel, there could be a licensing fee. If you're using their software, we may have to pay them a licensing fee per year. All right? So there's different kinds of costs. Now when we have costs, if we have to calculate internally, or even when they provide us the numbers, they don't just pull the numbers out of thin air. What do? They are going to think, or you should be thinking analysis phase, internal, right? Who or how many people will I need for the analysis phase? Oh, I will need myself, right? 40 hours per week. We're thinking 4 weeks of analysis. So how many hours is that, guys? 40 hours per week, 4 weeks, 160 hours, right? If the cost is my cost, right, or the company says $100 per hour, what is the cost of analysis for just a business analyst? That's right, 16,000. Now, who else will we need in the analysis phase? Well, I probably will need about 3 to 5 hours of all my business units. Let's say 5 hours, right? 5 hours per week for the next 4 weeks. And there are 5 business units. How many hours is that? 5 hours per week for the next 4 weeks for 5 business units. Five hours per week for the next 4 weeks. 5 times 4 is 20, right? And there are 5 business units, so 20 hours per business unit times, that's right, Nehal, 100. Guys, calculation, all right? 100, that is 100 hours across all my business units. Now, if it's $100 per hour, how much was the analysis cost for the business unit? So total analysis for internals, what is the cost of analysis, in-house analysis? You must add up the cost of the business analyst plus the business unit, right? So you know, shut up, numbers. Okay, so you know now if TCS has already said that they will charge you $50,000 for analysis, and you know internally it's going to cost you $26,000. What's the total cost of analysis? That's right. Okay? Now you will go through the same exercise for design and implementation for personnel and software hardware. Are you clear? Now, once you have built the software and we've deployed it this year, will you have the same analysis, design, implementation costs next year? No. The personnel and hardware software cost for this year, is it going to be prorated for the years that you are live, or will it apply for the entire year? Maintenance and support, is it only for after go live, or is it, that's right, so it should be prorated, correct? However, next year, is it still going to be prorated, or is it going to be fully for the entire year? Next year, is it going to be prorated of our entire year? Very nice, entire year. All right? So you do not have any analysis, design, or implementation costs in year 1, 2, and 3. However, you will have maintenance and support costs for the entire years in year 1, 2, and 3. All right? Now, why year 1, 2, and 3? Typically, you have, you've heard of it, right? It takes 2 to 3 years for a business to be established. You cannot recover your costs. Typically, you don't. In less than 3 years. If you do, then it makes a very strong business case. Yes or no? Have you heard this before? If it takes you more than 3 years to recover your costs, then is it a good business option? No. That's why we have year 1, year 2, year 3. Are you clear? Now let's look at our benefits. Benefits can be multiple. Here our benefits are only listed revenue-wise. But you can have other benefits as well, right? Social benefits. Now even if it is a social benefit, it must be quantified. So for all of you who live in an apartment or who have a house, do we not pay for a good, secure neighborhood? Is there not an extra charge for location? Yes or no? What does that mean? We've quantified that criteria, right? That this is a secure neighborhood, this is a good school district, this has very good facilities. Correct? So it's not always all about the money, but you should be able to quantify any other benefits as well, right? Based on that is how much. Some neighborhoods you're probably paying $800 a month. Other neighborhoods, you're probably paying $1,600 a month. Yes? So any kind of benefits that you expect from this application, you must list those benefits under the benefits section. All right? And you will quantify those benefits as well. Are you clear? Okay. Now let's think about the simplest benefit, revenue. Now, if I go live with this application, right, in the month of June, how many months do I have to benefit from this application in the current year? 6 months. Very nice, Shadab. Right? If I go live in the month of October, then I only have 2 months to get any benefits, right? So benefits are prorated in year 0. And they are, they're supposed to grow per year. So let's look at our case study 1, right? Irrespective of whether I have TCS build my website or Wipro build it or I build it in-house, if all these proposals were, yes, we will get it ready by the 1st of June or the 30th of June, right? Let's say 30th of June. I have 6 months to benefit from this website, don't I? Now, month 1, right? So in the month of July, I have to do a lot of promotion. Do I really expect any revenue in the month of July? Probably not, right? On an average, I may be looking at 1 new order per week across all the states in US of A and 0 from worldwide. So if I'm saying 1 order per week, right? How many orders is that until the end of this year, in year 0? Okay, 4, 6 are 24. There are 4 weeks in every month, 6 months, 24 orders. If every order, right, if the average cost per order, remember this is antique, is $10,000, then what is the total revenue? What is the revenue that I got from this website in this year? 240,000? Nehal, 24,000 times 10,000. That's right. Srinivas. Okay, missing a 0. So that is your expected revenue for year 0, right? Now year 1, the website's been there for 6 months. Of course, I have e-marketing. I'm marketing it a lot. I'm advertising and whatnot. In 6 months' time, I expect 1 order per day. How many orders in a year am I expecting? One order per day. How many days in a year, Nehal? 365 orders, right? No problem. So 365 orders. Now, look back at your assignment. What does it say? Here. So what does it say here? But more people are buying online, right? So volume. So this is more people buying online, correct? Instead of 1 order per week, now we have 1 order per day. Volume of transaction, what does that mean? So until now, my average cost per order was 10,000. Now, going forward, average cost per order is going to be $25,000. Why? Because I'm an established website. People know about me. So if I am getting 365 orders in year 1, and the average cost per order is $25,000, then what is the expected revenue in year 1? Okay, I'm just going to assume that you have the math right. Year 2, the average cost of the cart remains the same, order remains the same, but now I'm getting 2 orders per day, right? Year 3, I'm getting 5 orders per day. So you will put down your expected revenues for year 0, year 1, year 2, year 3. Now what are you supposed to do? You will now make that subtraction, benefit minus cost. So year 0, right? Year 0, let's say your benefits were $100. Your cost was $2,000. How much negative are you? Benefit 1,000. So you are negative by 1,900. Negative by 1,900, correct? Year 1, your benefits were 20 grand, 20,000. Your cost is 1,000. What is the net? Are you positive or negative so far? You must carry over the debt from last year. Remember, you still have to pay that off. So if you are negative 19,000 or 1,900 from last year, that is also carried forward. Will you or will you not have to pay the bank for the balance from last year? So how much are you? Are you positive or negative this year? You know how we did the math equations first, right? Minus 7 plus 10 minus 3 equals 0, right? Same here. So in year 1, if you are positive, if you're making a profit, then that is your payoff year. And the amount of profit that you are making, this is your return on investment, right? Yes, no, maybe. Now, if you can explain the same thing in a narrative form as it says in your template, then it is perfectly fine. However, because I am a very visual person, I must see the numbers. I prefer the tabular format. Again, because I've worked in energy and banking industry, I prefer the tabular format. Is that clear? Retail, same story. All about numbers. Are you clear? Everyone. Now, you don't necessarily have to do, you can do option 1, option 2, option 3 separately. Or, where you have this, remember you can have a bigger spreadsheet. So you can have option 1, right? And then you can do the same thing for option 2. And the same thing for option 3. Are you clear? Another way to do it, some other companies you'll see is, you have total cost, year 0, and then where you have maintenance and support costs, you can see right after, below here, or above the payoff here, you will see additional costs from in years 1 to 3, and you can list that. So in all of these numbers, right, benefits in year 1 to 3, or benefits or costs accumulated in years 1 through 3, so you can do that, this piece, all in these 2 columns. So you can compare solution, option 1 to option 2, option 3, all in the same place. Are you clear or not clear? Let me show you something. Look, this is something that I put together. The level of detail that you have in your document is up to you. Are you all clear? Do you see how I have the recurring costs right here? Okay. So you can share or you can compare different options in the same table if you want to. All right? Or you can do it the way we have option 1, option 2, option 3, however many options you are evaluating at this time. You will do the same study, same feasibility analysis or cost benefit analysis for all of those options. Are you clear? Now I made some assumptions, correct? I said, oh, I'm going to have 1 order per week, and then in next year I'm going to get 1 order per day. Well, how did I make these assumptions? Right? I must list those assumptions somewhere. Yes or no? How am I supposed to know by looking at these options? Did I say 1 times? Did I do the mathematical function? Did I write that down here? Or did I just write the dollar value here? Did I do 360 times 1 times 365 days times $25,000 here? No, I didn't. I just put down the dollar value. So the assumption, right, that I'm going to have 1 order per day and the cost of the order, right, is going to be 250,000. Those are assumptions. Yes or no? I must list my assumptions, correct? How did I come up with these numbers? Is it because of market analysis? Now, these numbers will be provided by our stakeholder. They must, before they initiated a project, they must have internally, remember when they were given this objective, they must have thought about it as to whether they want an IT solution or a non-IT solution. They must have explored. Is it worth having an IT, solution? They must have done some market analysis, research. Correct, guys? So when they give me, do I know how many people will buy? They must come up with the numbers, right? Business? These are their projections. So I must list all my projections. Projections are assumptions, yes or no? All right. So you know what to list in your section 5, correct? Section 6. Now that you know, remember we just did the cost benefit analysis, right? We have other feasibility criteria, CMM, quality, right? Or quality, and then references. Maybe we want to talk about reputation, right? Do we have a business relationship with them? So I worked with this group of people before in the past and I was not satisfied. However, I have a relationship, right? Good or bad, I do have a relationship. Am I willing to take, to take a chance with another vendor, not knowing what our relationship will be? Or can I give it to the same vendor? Yes or no, guys? I'm sure we all of us think of that, right? When we buy something or we ask someone to do something for us, it's the fear of the unknown, right? So we must now evaluate for other criteria as well, correct? Yes or no? So here, all the solutions that we have, right, or the options that we were evaluating, we will list all of those options. And then their criteria, so cost criteria, right? We know cost-wise which is number 1, which is number 5. Yes or no? Based on your cost-benefit analysis, right? So we will start ranking them. So 1 being the best, 5 being the least. Let's just assume that. Then we want to do about the quality. So CMM level, well, one of them is CMM level 3, other one is CMM level 4, right? The third option has no CMM certification. So the one that has level 3, what value am I going to give? 1 being the highest, 5 being the lowest. What should I give that option? What is the ranking? Something that has a level 3, right? CMM level 3 will get a 1, will score a 1. Yes or no, guys? The option that has CMM level 2 or 1 will get a ranking of maybe 3 or 4, right? Because CMM level 1 is ad hoc. That's no ranking at all. And then something that does not have any ranking, they were not certified, they are at level 5. I will give them not level 5, but I will give them a score of 5, correct? Least desirable. Next, references. Now the first option, references, they said, okay, they were about, they were a mix of the 3 reference checks that I did. They said they would give a score of 3 out of 5. So you assign them, give them 3. The second option, they scored a 4 out of 5 or a 5 out of 5 in their reference check, which means that they are very good, right? They were very good. Everyone was very happy. So what score are you going to give them? 1. Very nice. The third option, they're pretty good. 4 out of 5 were happy. So they probably scored a 2. Correct? Yes or no? Now, once you've done all your parameters, now you will add up the numbers, right? The scores. Whoever has the lowest score is the best solution. Yes or no? So you must list your ranking criteria. Is 1 the lowest or 1 the highest? Are you scoring on 1 through 5? Right? Sometimes you have weightage. Some things have more weightage than others. Yes, no, maybe. Right? So you must describe your ranking criteria and then you must go through the ranking. You must rank, you must give scores to each of your options. Now once you have it, in section 7 you will list the result. Same goes if you're going to build your own software, Nehal, right? You must rank that solution as well. If you are not considering any other option, right? Then there is no ranking. I mean, this is the only option that you are considering. Then you don't have this section in your document. Alright? But typically that's not how we do. We definitely want to see, is it worth, can we build it online or by ourselves? Or should we just outsource it? What is going to be most beneficial for the company? If you don't take any other option into consideration, then you are not making the best financial decision. All right. Now in section 7, you will list the result. So you have done the ranking and all in section 6. Now you must list the result. Why? The results may not necessarily match your ranking. Why is that? Well, we know option 1 was the best option, right? However, as a company, right, we may be going a certain direction. In the next 2 years, we may be wanting to transition to Oracle systems. Yes, it is expensive. We will not get our return on investment until the 3rd year, right? But it makes more sense if we must build something that we build it to last. If we have to redo it in 2 years when we move to the Oracle system, then are we losing money, or was that a wise decision? Losing money, right? So sometimes, even though option 2 is a costlier option, we may go with it. Sometimes we have to go with a cheaper option because of budget cuts. Sometimes we choose a certain vendor because the CIO of our company and the CIO of their company are buddies. They play golf together. Any one of you heard of that happen? Right? So there are many reasons why a certain, option can be selected, even though it may not be what we thought. Logically, our option 1 was the best option. However, if you looked at it, in the long run, option 2 made some more sense. So in your section 7, you will write down what is the recommended solution, right? Did we decide to go ahead with that solution? If yes, then you leave it there. If not, then you list what was the solution you decided to go with and why. Are you clear? Now, once you do that, you come to the appendices. You know how to fill out the appendices and the reference section, the reference documents, right? Any document that you refer to while putting together this document, right? For example, your vision and scope document. You refer to it, you must list it, right? If you refer to your market analysis, then you must list it. Appendices. This is your request for proposal and your request for quote. Where did you get this information? It is not a document that you refer to. This is something, a package that you received, right? You requested. You attach the quotes from the different vendors in the appendices section. If you're going to buy the software, then the cost of the software, where is it available? What is the price? What does it include? Remember, you get all those details, product details. All of that must be attached in your appendices. Are you clear? So with that, we come to an end to our feasibility study document. Now, if you notice, when you do the feasibility study, you did your cost-benefit analysis, right? But in order to put together your request for proposal, did you do a gap analysis as well? What do you want to build? What do you want the vendors to submit a proposal for? Yes or no? At a high level, you do your gap analysis here as well. Now, you will do gap analysis in detail when we get to our requirements document. Okay? Does everyone understand the concept or how to write your feasibility study template? Now guys, it is 11 o'clock, right? And I know most of you have not done your vision and scope document just yet. So I'm not going to do requirements document today. Alright? Why? Because then it's too much. But by tomorrow morning, I want to see all your vision and scope documents and at least one feasibility study document from each of you. I know, Ryan, that you and another person, they are the only two people who did your assignment. There's 7 or 8 people on the call. Okay, I need all assignments. And the reason why I say it, guys, is we can't review the same, I can't be checking the same assignment in every session. So even though we are in session 12, let's say, right, I can't be checking assignment 1 and assignment 2 and assignment 3 and assignment 4. You understand that? Because then we would be wasting time. So when I check an assignment, if I check your vision and scope document, then we are done with vision and scope. We will not go back to that document. Are you all clear? Yes, it is frozen. Ryan, you choose. If you've understood, remember, case study 1 is the simplest of all case studies. The level of complexity keeps on increasing. Our case study 3 also is not, it's a little different. However, the highest complexity is the case study 4. So if you've understood it, I really want you to try case study 4. But if you think you're just beginning and you'd rather get it right and play it safe, then do case study 1. It doesn't mean that you will not have to do the others. Okay? It just means by tomorrow, I expect to see one case study from all of you. The 2 documents. Everyone clear? Now tomorrow's session is going to be really intense. We will have to do our requirements document. Okay? So please come prepared, guys. I want you to know the difference between functional, technical, non-technical, all of those requirements, different kinds of requirements. Read through case study 1 really well, because we will do absolutely, Ryan. That's what I said. I'm going to review your assignments. When I review them, and I'll review them in class, right? You will get your feedback. But I will only review those. Tomorrow, if I don't see your assignments, then we will move forward. We will not do vision and scope document and feasibility study anymore. So whoever submitted these 2 documents, their assignments will be reviewed. Others will not be reviewed. All right. Please read through case study 1 and if possible case study 2. All right. When we write a requirements document, we will be discussing case study 1 and case study 2. Yes, Nehal, absolutely ask. That's right. If the main heading has subheadings, then you don't write anything in the main heading. In same story in the feasibility study. All right. Although in the feasibility study, we did not have any subheadings anywhere. Or we did have option 1 and option 2. So you do not write anything here. All right. You only fill out option 1 and option 2. Everyone clear? Ryan, I think you missed that portion. The cost. So play back the recording. We talked about how to determine cost. Okay, Shadab, that's fine. Everyone understands how to determine cost, right? I know Ryan joined late, but how about the others? Lipsy, Srinivas. Okay. All right, so guys, I will talk to you all tomorrow, okay? Please do your assignments and come prepared. Yes, Lipsy, go ahead. No problem, Ryan. That's okay. You are on the Mountain Time Zone, right? Is that what it is? Pacific. Okay. Let's see if the link will not open, and if you are already logged into your Gmail account, you have to be logged into Gmail account for that link to work. If you're not logged into your Gmail account, then it will not work. If it is still not working, then call Alok right away. All right. Okay, guys. I will talk to you all tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yes.
I had a question.
Sure.
In my vision and scope document for the first case, I did not actually choose the different alternatives that I will be getting the website built from other companies, but I actually decided that I will build my own website. So will I have to continue the same thing in the feasibility, or in the feasibility I can like choose now, make it a little bit?
You can. Ideally, should be the same, but Nehal, for practice purposes, I would suggest that you do two options. Okay?
Okay.
Now, in real life, however, we never have our options open. So we never just say, this is the only approach that we will follow. Why? Because it's all about profitability, right? And being more efficient. So whatever is in the benefit of the company, right? So we will always evaluate more than one option. Okay? If nothing else, even if we like option one, this is the best approach, we still want to evaluate it against, mount that idea against something else. To, until you have a comparison, you really don't know what is the true worth of that option. Okay, Nehal?
Right. Thank you.
All right. All right, guys, I am logging off now. Have a great day. Enjoy, and then I will talk to you all tomorrow. Bye.